Only, of course, it's much faster when you're going on ice. And he's also a holder of over 75 national records. 65 national records. And most recently this winter has won the first ever medals for India at the Masters Games, which are in Innsbruck, which is also a fantastic facility. So I will let Vishwaraj I will let Vishwaraj take it from here. Welcome to the webinar, and the mic is open for you.
Oh yeah. Hi guys, can everybody hear me? Just raise your hand if everything's clear. Yeah, okay, fantastic. So lovely. First of all, I mean, the platform which has been provided to us here is fantastic. I mean, Shiva, obviously, thank you, Sports Authority of India. Thank you so much for this. And yeah, one and all who's present over here. Darren, fantastic job. I also got really lost in what you were talking about and what you said, the process. You know, the process for athletes is something which we strive, we dedicate our lives to it, and that's what has brought me here. So I'm gonna start also with videos. It's probably a little, it might get slow at some point, but just please hold it together, guys. Here we go. So I'm gonna start with a video, and then I'm gonna go on from there. And then I'll start my presentation from there. So this video is to give you a little bit of an introduction to what and how I've been doing things. And at any point of time, if you can't hear me, just let me know. So I'll slow down and I'll stop and I'll start again, because I really want to make sure the message is out there and people know what we're doing. Yeah? Okay, here we go. Is the screen share working?
I think you'll have to hit the green button, the screen share button, and then it'll allow you to choose the file.
Sorry? Did I miss it?
Yes.
Is it working now?
Yes.
Nobody heard of me then. Having taken part. My name is Vishwaraj Jadeja, India's ice speed skating champion. But I bet you never heard of me. Took part at the Asian Winter Games 2017. Nobody heard of me then. Having taken part over 200 races for India, nobody heard of me then either. I have 65 national records to my name for India, yet nobody heard of me. Winning 4 medals at the Winter Games Masters this year in 2020, still you haven't heard of me, have you? That's alright though. You tell people that ice skating is a sport, they think of the US or Canada or Europe. You tell them that ice skating is a sport in India, and they're surprised. I don't blame them. We all grow up dreaming of representing our country, unfurling the tricolor at world events, having a stadium full of people chanting our name. The dream is what has kept me going through all the long hours of training and the grueling fitness schedules, the constant traveling to qualify for various global events. My biggest moment of pride has been standing up on the podium with the Indian flag in my hands at the Winter World Games 2020. Right now, there are only few Indian athletes trying to reach the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing, including me. I hope that through my efforts, my achievements, in the future more people become aware of this sport, more young athletes get inspired to begin their ice skating journey, and one day there will be a huge Indian contingent at the Winter Olympics, competing with the best in the world to make our country proud. The sport needs your support. Send your cheers, your messages of good luck, your encouragement, so that when I win, it's not just me on that podium, it's the entire nation that is with me. Why reach for the skies when there are already footprints on the moon? Aim high and then go even higher.
So
My name is Vishwaraj Jadeja, India's
okay. So here we are. Origin story. I am a third generation. I'm a third generation athlete of the family. That is my father. He started his roller skating journey when he was from the 1970s. He was a national champion himself. Before him, my grandfather used to be playing hockey for the university. And yeah, so then that inspired me. And I mean, my aunt used to represent India also for roller skating. And as Darren had mentioned, the kids need to keep on playing. So my grandfather, my father, they always wanted us to keep have an active lifestyle, you know. So we kept busy, and I was a hyperactive child. So they kept on, putting me into different sports. And at some point, I ended up doing roller skating. And roller skating is from where I came towards ice skating, you know, representing India finally at World Championships, representing India at the inline hockey Asian. You know, and when you spend 10 years of your life dedicated to a sport, you want to represent your country to at the Olympics for that sport. And roller skating or roller speed skating failed to make it to the Olympics over and over again. So then I decided, well, I need to do something to change that. So I decided to move to Europe and pursue the dream of the Olympics for long track ice speed skating. Now, the sport I do is long track ice speed skating. What is it? What is long track ice speed skating? It is held on a 400-meter track with all sorts of various distances: 500 meters, 1500 meters, 3000 meters, 10,000 meters, and 1000 meters. All races are all races are done in pairs. It is against the clock. It's basically like a drag race, and but then you're also timed. And it's a 400-meter track. It has been a part of the Olympics since the inception of the Olympics, of the Winter Olympics, and it is one of those elite sports. So it is one of the most difficult sports to qualify for the Olympics also. So that makes it, you know, really challenging also. And I was up for the challenge, and I mean, you know, I was like, why can't India have and long track ice speed skater? You know, moving to Europe for that was the most logical choice I thought at the time. So right now I train in the Netherlands. There are two kinds of ice tracks: open tracks and a closed track, like that. Long track ice speed skating to the Netherlands is what cricket is to India. So basically what happens is, when there is a national, this is a picture of the nationals. When there are nationals in the Netherlands, the whole stadium is filled up with people, and then they just watch two skaters skating around on a 400-meter track, which is incredible. There are two, earlier they used to be fixed skates, regular fixed skates, and now we have clap skates, you see here. And the clap skates are basically to give you a little bit more push in your strokes and gives you a little bit more glidability. And that is something which helps you to go a little bit faster and keep that speed longer. The legend of our sport is Jaap Ede. There's an ice skating track which has been named after him in Amsterdam. He's the only male athlete to win world championships in both ice skating, long track, and cycling. So you see, the olden skates were very, very, very basic. One of my inspiration obviously has been Shiva. You know, if he can do it 6 times representing India at the Winter Olympics, I can at least do it once. So yeah, and it's very nice to, like, we are here and now we're sharing the same panel. Very heartwarming for me. So basically what happened was, I grew up in Gujarat, Ahmedabad, did roller skating all my life, you know, went to the nationals, won a national gold, went to the world championships, represented India at the world championships for inline skating. Then I moved to Europe, to the Netherlands, to pursue the dream of long track ice skating for India at the Olympics. You know, everything which you could have thought could have gone wrong has gone wrong on and off the ice. You know, my first coach, Oliver, in Denmark, sleeping on couches across Europe just to make sure that I make it in time and stay near the ice tracks. It's one of the open tracks which I was training there. I'm in Sweden at a test event. But one of the biggest things I realized over the years was having a guru, having a nice teacher. One of the most important things I feel is having a good teacher, you know. And for me, that was very important. So, there is Wim Neuhauser is the coach. I met him after a journalist did a little story about my journey and my dream of representing India at the Winter Olympics for India. And when it was published in the Netherlands. Obviously, just like cricket is to India, long track ice skating is to Holland. And when somebody from completely outside of the sporting fraternity comes to pursue our sport, absolutely we're going to be interested, right? So similarly in the Netherlands, it was one of those people who was very much enthusiastic about my cause. I reached out to him. The first conversation we had was, Vish, if you're crazy enough to come pursue my sport, I'm crazy enough to train you. And so that's how we began. And it's been around over 200 races for India now, 65 national records, numerous podium positions on the European circuit. The recent one of the most recent achievement was the 4 medals at the Winter Games Masters. 3 second positions and 1 third position, which was amazing. Winter Games were held on an outdoor track where it was open to sky. So it was raining one of the days, it was snowing, it was windy. You have to battle the elements to go forward. But the feeling of holding that flag at a multi-sport event where more than 50 countries are participating, unmatched. I mean, it's all worth it, I would say. And here I am sharing that story with you. So that was something which was incredible. I've been doing this since 2010. And without failures and not seeing our failures, without our failures, we are nobody. So, I looked at my failures in their eyes and I still kept going. And the only way to get around it is by, keep on going. So always in motion, the future is. So after 2018, up till 2018, as I said, we were training really hard with the coach, with the whole scenario around it. 200 races, as I mentioned earlier. But then in 2018, before the Olympics, I had a crash and I missed out on the qualifications. I missed out on, on that whole, it felt like everything was such a waste. What will I do? What should I do now? Should I keep going? Should I stop? One of the best things I thought was to go back home, back to India and figure it out. So I went to the mountains, to the Himalayas. And that's when I realized India has so much potential itself for ice skating. We have the great Himalayas. We have numerous frozen lakes where actually the ice skating was invented, on a frozen lake somewhere, and well, I was like, what can I do? And then we went ice skating on some of the highest frozen lakes in the world, and where it was in India. Ended up making a world record for skating the world's highest 5 kilometer in Ladakh, at a lake called Sumurili Lake, which was incredible feeling and a very, very exciting experience myself. And so yeah, but that whole process also, like finding out about obviously the ice hockey people over there, which was an inspiration for me myself, going actually and doing it, meeting the locals, exploring the views and the sites. Look at that. That is a flat black ice. It's a skater's dream. A natural ice track like that is incredible. And this is something which we strive for and we want to pursue always, and and so training, and one of the things I realized also was that the Himalayas, we can have all of our high performance, high altitude training centers, which help a lot in enhancing our performances, and 3 times a year we do altitude training ourselves, during the summer and 1 during the winter, which really enhance and enable us to keep pushing harder. Altitude training is all about having more red blood cells in your body. And yeah, so this is a video about what happened when we did the world record. It's the It
wasn't easy. It never is. Didn't manage to set the world record overnight. Burnt myself in the cold for the weight. Fell 10 times, got up with 11. The ice taught me that you can keep moving forward, regardless of how many times you slip. Why? Because my passion is on fun, even on the nights. I am Vishwaraj Jadeja.
So yeah, that happened, and for me, it was very important that we do it in India. Imagine the world record of the world's highest 5 kilometers is in India. That is an incredible story in itself. So for me, it was very important doing that, and obviously that helped me to understand and learn more about the Indian terrain and the Indian scenario of what are the potentials India has, the untapped potentials India has as a winter sporting nation. There are so many economies around the sports, around winter sports, which can create so much opportunities for people living in remote parts of the country, in the remote parts of the Himalayas also. So one of the things I realized was the social impact of ice skating. You might wonder what could be the social impacts of ice skating in India. Come on, we are not a winter sports nation, no, but we are, mind you. Putting India on ice skating, for me, it was very important to put India on the ice skating map of the world for winter sports. What we also giving back, for me also it was very important to give back. So what we did was we took the story to different parts of the country, engage in awareness and knowledge gathering programs to the locals. In Ladakh, for example, we did a talk. I do a talk in Ahmedabad, in Mumbai, in Delhi, in Bangalore. So all those places we just go and talk about what are the possibilities, what can be done, what cannot be done, how to do them, how not to do them, and the response we received has always been so positive and inspiring, actually, awe-inspiring itself. One of the things I thought was possible was organizing these marathon races. So ice skating has a form of race called marathon. Long track ice skating has marathon races, which happen at times on frozen lakes. So I thought, well, we can have our own league in India where we invite skaters from all over the world to go ice skating on our frozen lakes. And these lakes are beautiful, breathtaking. You've seen the pictures earlier, and I will leave the presentation with the officials to share them later. But look at that. We have these lakes, amazing frozen lakes. And if you see here, these are the small people. That is me walking to a place, and this is all frozen body. And this year we can have like a beautiful circuit where we can organize races, and people from all over the world will enjoy to be here and view this beautiful landscape. So basically one of those things, and absolutely, as we said, we have an opportunity to have a clean canvas, and now we can start, on these clean canvas about painting the story of the Indian winter sports. I think that could be insane. I mean, for me to come from Gujarat, okay, where the highest temperature is 50-55 degrees, and additionally we have one word for ice in Gujarati, baraf. So in spite of that, getting to where I did, if somebody like me can do it, anybody can, I feel. For example, we can also draw inspiration from the Netherlands. It is a country which is below sea level, but it has some of the highest medals in winter sports, also basically namely ice skating itself. So, that itself has a lot of testimony in itself. So we need to draw inspiration from these kind of situations. I'm going to talk about supporters so far. So, they have a saying, to bring up a child, you need a village. So initially, first half, like, let's say if I've been training for the last 11 years, from those 11 years, for 7 years, no support. I mean, very, very mild. Everything had to be figured out on our own, struggle like crazy. But then eventually, when I brought in the whole, ice skating in the mountains aspect of things, or things started moving around. Obviously, the Sport Authority of Gujarat has been one of the most regular supporters, along with the Ice Skating Association of India. But obviously, you have to understand, winter sports in India is still new. So you cannot expect a lot of support, but there was some support. But Sports Authority of Gujarat and Ice Skating Association of India have shown their faith in what I've been up to, and keeping a tab on what I've been up to. So at least they know the story. And last year, when we were going for the winter sports for the Winter Sports Masters, Winter Games Masters, Sports Authority of Gujarat stepped in really well and really on time to rescue. So, as I said, if we are very clear on what we want, if we have a plan, the government is there, all sorts of companies are there who would want to be a part of that story, but we have to be very sure and very clear, and that is why we need a good coach, a good system, a good way of a good vision to go about it. and a plan to execute that plan, you know. So yeah, so these are the companies from India, from Holland, from all over the world, being a part of that process. And again, it's all process driven. Everybody wants to be part of the process, and that's how we go about these things, you know. So this is Vin and the team I train with. Some of very talented skaters, very fast skaters also. And yeah, you know, so I'm going to leave you guys with the final video, which I have as the closing for this for this talk.
Yes, I am going to make it to the Olympics. I have a very good coach. I'm very motivated. Yeah, I don't see a reason why it should not happen. I grew up in India with roller skating all my life, won the nationals at some point, made it to the Indian team. But as an athlete, there's only one dream and one goal, the Olympics. Since roller sports did not make it to the Olympics, I packed my bags, moved to Europe to learn to skate on the ice. In my head, I surround myself with the times of the qualification limits for the World Cups, for the Olympics, the Olympic records, and then on the other side, I have on my wall my times, my current times or my recent times. You know. As an athlete, you need a coach who believes in you. They miss my guardian angel and my Einstein. Gandhi said, whatever we do in life is going to be insignificant, but we have to do it. So I decided I wanted to represent India at the Winter Olympics as a long track ice speed skater.
Yeah, so Vishwaraj, that's me, Team India, in ice skating, long track speed skating for India, Beijing 2020-22. Here we are, here we go. Let's get it done. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that very inspiring presentation. I love those videos.
Yeah,
and
I will share. You'll get all of them. I'll send the whole presentation so you guys can have that in your records. So I like the T-shirt, by the way.
Yeah, we're all here, and we're all stuck somewhere in lockdown. So
yeah. I hope everybody's staying safe and staying home. So
everybody's staying safe, and hopefully this is a good time for us to showcase all of our things, online.
It cannot be a
so
better
thank
time.
you to the thank you to the ministry, thank you to the Sports Authority of India for giving us this platform.
Absolutely.
And all the people who are here and who are participating and who are following are are organic avid followers of winter sports.
Absolutely.
And as a community, it's great for all of us to get together.
100%.
And just to once more to tell everybody that all the videos that you saw of all these lakes, all these world records, these are all in India.
They are all happening in India, yeah, nowhere else. So it's incredible, the pond of opportunities. And every time I share those videos anywhere outside of India, nobody believes me. They're like, no, this cannot be. I'm like, no, this is India. We have like 16 frozen lakes which freeze in India every year, which are over the altitude of 3,000 meters or 3,500 meters. 16, more than 16. At least 16 are the ones which I have actually recorded about. And from those, I've started exploring 3, actually going and ice skating on them. So there are more which I will be exploring eventually. And but it is in India, right in our backyard. It's just we just have to go there and start. And they freeze for around 3 months or 4 months a year. So there is absolutely possible to at least start. Obviously we have a long way to go to provide facilities, but to start introduce kids to the sport. And then so yeah.
So yes, I hope that in our current government's plan to develop the far reaches of the country, the mountain areas, Kashmir, Ladakh, Arunachal, Himachal, Uttarakhand, we can bring so much development, so much economic development, so much social development, and so many more champions for our country, to bring our country his name and our country's flag around the world.
Yeah.
So hopefully that by seeing these images, even our government is inspired to do more and to take this the initiatives which they've already started under this Khelo India Games to the next level. And all of us are here to support that fully. And so thank you so much for what you have done so far behind the scenes and on your own, and of course with the support of your close ones. But as a community, we're all here to support you. And to
I would also like interject here to tell you about Sports Authority of Gujarat. And how within their understanding of the sport itself, imagine a sports authority of Gujarat supporting an ice skater, the fastest ice skater of India. Then it itself, like if the authorities really want to, they really can, push for the support and help. And obviously, that is one of the small examples, and which is encourages a lot for somebody like me who's trying to figure things out. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great, excellent. So we will take this message.
Possible.
We'll take this. We will take this message. We will take this message to the Sports Authority, and we will hope that the Sports Authority makes a specific section to deal with only winter sports because of all the unique things that we have over here. Yeah. So thank you once again, Vishwaraj.
Thank you very much
for being with us. And now we will.